Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the coding station. In the last video, we've seen how to set up VS Code to start programming in Python. And in this video, let's see how to work with Python numbers. But before that, if you're new to this channel, just hit that subscribe button and the bell icon because this channel is all about programming and you don't want to miss that. Now, if you're all set, let's get into the real stuff. I'm going to use this Python video folder that I created in the last video. And I'm going to open a VS Code window from this location. And if you want to know how to get this open with code feature or option in your right click menu, you have to go and watch my last video for that. Now today I want to talk about integers and floating point numbers. Now note that there are other kinds of numbers in Python. However, integers and floating points are the most used or the kinds of data that you're going to use in your algorithms on a regular basis. So I thought this is a good place to start and then you can take it from there. Let's talk about integers first. Now, how do I declare an integer in Python? And how do I let the Python compiler know that I want to work with an integer? Well, I don't have to. By that I mean, if I want to create an integer variable, I just have to create a variable with any name of your choice and then have to assign a number to it. And if I print it, let's see what happens. As we can see, it printed the 8 that we assigned into A. Now if I want to see the type of that variable, I just have to use the function type and then pass in the variable A to it. And let's see what it prints. So it says it's an integer type, a class of integer. We didn't let the compiler know that it is an integer, but it automatically detected that it's an integer. And that is something I love about Python. And now if I want to do the same thing to another, let me create another floating point. If I want to do the same thing to a floating point number, it is going to be the same. I'm going to print A and then print the type of A again, and let's see what happens. Let me clear the screen first. And then if I print it, as we can see, the first time it printed an 8 and the class of integer, and the second time it is 8.0 and the class is float. So that is the difference between an integer and a floating point number. Integer doesn't have anything after the decimal point, whereas a floating point will have more digits after the decimal point. That makes it an important data type when precision is important for you. For example, in a banking application where you don't want to round off everything after decimal to a single integer. So because their data after the decimal point has a significant importance rather than just having a number like an 8, because 8.5 is definitely bigger than 8, right? By default, a floating point number supports only up to 15 digits after the decimal point. By that I mean, if I print out 10 divided by 3, we will only see up to 15 digits after the decimal point. Okay, now let's take this operation into a variable called b. Okay, b is 10 divided by 3. And if I print it, it is going to produce the exact same result. Now in this case, we have 15 digits after the point, but I don't need all of this. What if I just want to round up to 4 places, which is where I'm going to use a function called round. By default, this function rounds up to 0 decimal places, which means you won't be able to see any digits after the decimal point, And now what if I want to do for maybe like 5 digits after the decimal point? That is where I'm going to specify the actual number, and as you can see, it says n digits, which stands for number of digits. So I would say 5. I would pass in 5 here, which rounds up my floating point to 5 decimal places. And we will see that in a moment. As you can see, I have 5 threes after the decimal point. This function is very useful if you don't need, or if you don't have to be very precise, or if you want to control your precision level. But remember, it's only up to 15 places if it's a floating point number. Finally, let's look at how to convert one data type into another. By that I mean, let's see how to do the type conversion between integers, floats, or it's going to be the same pretty much for any data type. Let's clear up this, and I'm going to declare a is equals to 5 and b is equals to 1.401. Now if I want to print a as a floating point, I would just have to say a equals to float as a function and pass in a. And if I print a, let's see what it does now. As you can see, even though I assigned 5 to a, which means it's an integer I assigned to a, because we did the type conversion by using the float function, I have a 5.0. Now in the same way, let's try converting b, which is a floating point, into an integer by using int as a function and passing b to it. And now if I print b, I should see an integer printed out. As you can see, I converted a, which is an integer, into a floating point, and b, which is a floating point number, into an integer. This is how we perform conversions between one kind of data type to another kind of data type. Well, that's it for this video, guys. I just wanted to talk quickly about integers and floats for this one. In my next videos, I will talk about more Python concepts, but if you want to know when I upload a video, you have to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. And also don't forget to like the video. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.